Hello everyone. Today I want to do Whitney Port. I think this is sort of, I don't know if this is a recent photo or an older one, but it's more in line with her Hills-ish look with the red lip and the hair on top. I really love her. And I feel like it's not going to be that hard to do like her eyebrows and stuff. Mine are still in the wrong place. My eyebrows are in the wrong place for everybody, aren't they? Except for me. They're in the right place for me. Drunk elephant again. Again, I have some stuff on my face. Again, it came off because I was busy working hard as a mum. Wasn't really. I was on the phone to an airline changing a flight, and I wasn't impressed with the customer service. Like, the lady fixed my problem. I did a survey at the end and they're like, did we fix the problem? Did we do this or that? Yes. But was she friendly and nice? I don't know if she was friendly and nice. I don't think she was. Designer brands, again, my favorite for things. Let's do what I used to do when I went to work. Hide the blemish Rimmel. It was a really long time ago that I went to work. I sit at home and I watch Real Housewives and I have cups of tea in bed all day. That's what people think stay-at-home moms do. Yeah, that's what we might be doing at lunchtime or in the evening and stuff like that. Sometimes at 10 a.m. I'm doing that, okay? But for the rest of the 18 hours a day that I'm awake, sometimes, it's a lot of other stuff. I think we're underestimated. I might not watch the news, but I know when Ramona had a problem, okay? I love Real Housewives of New York. And I think they're redoing it this year and they're not having any of the old cast or something. Like, I think certain people ruined the cast last time. I'm not even going to say. People get so emotional about people having opinions about other people. I really think they ruined it last time. They should have kept Ramona. Luann, was she on there last time? Leanne's not that interesting anymore. Sonia, we need Ramona, we need Sonia. I feel like they should get their own show doing something else. Should just have Ramona and Sonia going out together and getting drunk, and Sonia talking about her previous family, and Ramona going on dates when she's going out to dinner with another group of people. That's really hilarious. Good old Ramona. She really annoyed me in the first season. I remember just hating her and being like, oh, who is this woman? But now she's like one of my favorite people. I love the drama. I don't take it seriously. Like, it is serious. I mean, it's her drama. She's great. I think I've made my face too white now. Oh no, she does have a whitish face. She's at least in the pale gang with me. I think that's very good. It's very Whitney. Very Whitney-esque. I think less will be more with Whitney. And I've been having requests like coming out my ears, like maybe 50 people requested that I do my ghost stories. And those 50 people know who you are. Pam, that's it. But I'm going to tell you my ghost stories quickly now while I do this. Not quickly. So, we've lived in some pretty old houses in Sydney. Okay, Sydney, Australia is a quite, like we say, it's an old town. Like, Australia's only a couple of 100 years old. America is older. Of course, Europe and the Middle East and everywhere is really much older. But there's like newish houses, and like where my parents live, it's like 20, 30 years old. It's not that old. But you've got like 100-year-old houses at least in Sydney and stuff like that, along with new things. And there were, so we've lived in some old houses. So we lived in an old apartment building. I don't know when it was made, maybe in the 60s or something. So it was a good 70 years old. So you can imagine that there would have been a fair few people going through there, living there a long time. And we just lived there for a couple of years. We lived there for about 6 months at this stage. And I was like lying in my bed with my iPad, with my Kindle, and just like lying there, and it was silent. and I was just reading my Kindle, and I remember just being like, oh, like we had tile. It was like a fully tiled apartment. And I remember thinking that my children's room, which was just like, there was a bathroom outside, directly outside my room. My room was at the end of a hallway. Then there was a bathroom there, tiny bathroom, really old. And then there was another room there that was my kids' room. And then you go down the hallway further and there was like a tiny lounge room. And then our kitchen was further there, and then the door. And it was a nice long apartment. You could sort of get away from the kids there a bit. Whereas in some houses, you're like, everything's in a circle. It was a lovely long apartment. And I remember thinking, like, my husband was at work and I was just lying in bed. The kids were going to sleep in the other room. And I heard these sticky footsteps in the hallway. And sticky is the word, because it was such a shiny hallway. And as you sort of like put your feet on it, you could just hear this sort of faint stickiness of like someone's heels or little like toes or balls of their feet sticking on the floor and coming up. And it was like the sound was going in and out of my kid's room, and I just called out to my son. I thought it was him, and he didn't answer me, and I thought, oh, he's being so naughty, you know, like he's not answering me. And so I just kept reading, and maybe a minute later he ran into my room crying. He was about 5 years old. He ran into my room crying, and he said, Mum, and it was just tears coming down his face. He said, Mum, there's someone walking in my room, but there's no one there. That's literally the freakiest thing that I've ever heard in my life. And another thing that used to happen to me a lot, and it did happen a couple of times in that apartment, but it happened in the place I lived before there. I lived for 9 years. It was at the back of a house in like the inner west of Sydney. It was quite an old house, and there was this, and now that I think about it later, you know, when something happens and sometimes it doesn't, like, you don't put two and two together. When it started happening, I didn't realize that this was significant, but I now realize that this sideboard, or this, not like a sideboard, like a hutch sort of thing, it had like two doors at the bottom, and then it had two drawers, and it had a flat bit sort of at waist level or bench level, and then it had like the hutch bit, like where you could put a few plates or cups or whatever at the back, which I used to do. So I used to put my crockery up the top, and I used to keep it as like a pantry at the bottom. My friend had given me this when she moved in with her husband, and she told me like, oh, this used to be in my mum's house, and her mum had passed away maybe 5 or so years earlier. Like, we used to work together in our early 20s, and then maybe end of our 20s we weren't really in touch anymore, and she contacted me again because her mother had died. She just suddenly dropped dead in another town, and her and her 3 brothers had gone and gotten all this stuff out, and she'd gotten this like kitchen hutch, and I needed it. Like, I was so grateful for it because my kitchen was tiny. It was like literally a sink and a stove and a tiny bit of cupboards, and I had this beautiful hutch next to my fridge, whatever. So what used to happen was that I would go to Coles and I would buy these bags of bread rolls, and they were like in this very sort of slippery fabric, plastic, not ultra slippery, but just, they were in a plastic, you know, and I used to come home and I would put everything on the bench or whatever, and more often than not, I would put them on this hutch because there was a nice thick bit there, and I'd use my bench because I had my other stuff there. I did put them on my bench and the same thing happened, but I know that mostly it fell off this hutch. So I would be at my kitchen sink. It only ever happened when I was in the kitchen. This freaks me out just saying it. So I would have the hutch here, my door was here, and like the sink would be here, and my back would obviously be to the hutch, like, or it would be just behind me, like over here, like just to that direction, and I would be looking out the window and doing my dishes or whatever I was doing, or at the bench just here, and my back would totally be at the hutch, and I would just hear the bread rolls hit the floor, just doo. And it happened, I think maybe 6 times. I'd put pencils on there, I'd put pens on there, I'd put other things on there. Nothing ever fell off. And it wasn't like over the edge at all. It wasn't like I put bread rolls on like that and then gradually they just went like that. It wasn't like that. I just literally, I would put them like that away from the edge, There wasn't a slope. If anything, the slope was to this way. It wasn't to the edge. Like, and I just, yeah, these bread rolls used to fall off. And they did fall off the bench that was, like, when I was at the sink facing this way, they'd also fallen off the bench on that side as well. But mostly it was from the hutch. And now thinking back, I think, like, was it something, like, I don't know, was it her mum? Was she trying to tell me she liked bread rolls? I don't know, those things are really creepy, aren't they? And something else creepy that happened, which wasn't a ghost thing, but, like, I lived there for 9 years. Spent a lot of time in that apartment, and I always got a sort of weird feeling in there. My eldest, so the one who heard the sticky footsteps in the hallway, that was my second child, that was my son. My eldest child, she had told me in that house with the hutch, she told me that she didn't want to go in the lounge room because there was an old lady in there, and that freaked the crap out of me, like, absolutely. Yeah. And I'd marched in there. Like, I did that with the sticky footprints too. I quickly marched in there and said, no, there's nothing here, don't worry. I was more telling myself, and, like, literally there was nothing there, and it didn't feel scary at the time. It did just make me go, like, what the hell? Like, I've just heard something and he's heard something. It wasn't really scary per se, but it really did make me think, like, wow. Yeah, so those are my ghost stories, and I think I've way overdone my eyes now, but that was really lovely and therapeutic to do my eyes while I talked about that. I don't really know how to talk about that, and I don't tell people in my real life. Like, sometimes I've said to people, you know, bread falls in my house, and they just go, huh? Like, it has happened in the other apartment where the sticky footprints were. It did happen in the kitchen 1 or 2 times, and someone said to me, oh, the ghost followed you, and I was like, is my friend's mom still there? Is she coming? Like, she liked me so much. She came with me. That's so creepy. Let me know down below if you have any other ghost stories. I'm sure I have more. I have other little things that have happened here or there. Like in our next house, my husband said that he was, like, sure that I've walked down the hallway. And I was like, no, I was in the bedroom the whole time. And he's like, no, you walked down the hallway, but you didn't go in the other room. And I was like, no, I didn't go out of my room. Like, what are you and he's like, no, I heard it. And then one time I'd stayed somewhere else, and he said, you know, I heard those things when you weren't here as well. And then he knew for sure it was something else. Someone else. I feel like my head thing's popping off a lot. Now let's do our beautiful thing. I can't line my eyes. We've talked about this before. Oh my gosh. The Lancome. Any Lancome product? So beautiful. I'm so happy with this mascara. It's just gorgeous. She doesn't really have anything on the bottom, does she? She's very plain like that. I want to do her lovely eyebrows now. I feel so weird telling you guys that story. Now that I've told it, now I feel like it's real. Because it is. I have a dog trying to eat some, I don't even know what she's doing. What's she got? Very light eyebrows. I think she's got these kind of eyebrows, and she has a very up eyebrow. So she has an eyebrow that starts here and goes like this. She has a very up eyebrow. Like this. And then she has a less up eyebrow. It's less up, but it's still up. It sort of goes like this, and then... Does anyone want to train my dog? Oh my god. I don't. I've done that wrong. Anyway, at least we've got her uppish eyebrow. Now, let's go back to this lovely, it's sort of the right colour, it's not really the right colour. Who cares? No one cares. No, what? Oh my god, why does my red here? Okay, I'm gonna show you. This red here is so pink on. Look what color it comes out. That's pink. You're leading people astray. Do you know that? You're leading people astray. It's like most men. Good on you if anyone's having a nice marriage out there, because I feel like sometimes I'm just like, ugh, what the F? Like, what's the point with everything? I love that people are like, oh my god, I'm so happy. And say like this. I was like that when I was first with my husband too. And now I'm just like, fucking hell. Every husband has problems. But I tell you what, we should just make like a place like everyone get married and have kids. And then everyone get divorced because you've got your kids now. And then everyone, there should be like a women's island we can just all go to and not have to deal with them anymore because they drive me crazy. I don't think I've met someone more annoying. I thought my first husband was annoying. This one really takes the cake. Oh, she's got a really smooth and shiny edge on her lip. I can't really do that. And it's very glossy. She does love a gloss. How am I going to do my hair up? Oh my god. Does anyone want some corn? Okay. Let's do our hair completely how she does it. Not. I wish I could work out how to do my hair properly. I just can't do my hair. I think it's a forwardy bun. I think it's over here. Oh yeah, that's good. Let's just pretend that this is remotely like what she's got. It's not. Let's just pretend. Just pretend for a minute. There she is. I need my nose to go away, don't I? I need my nose to really go away. Let's do some Kardashian-esque things on here. Oh my god, my nose looks so knobby next to hers. How unflattering. Oh, I didn't go under my lip again. Under the lip. That's where lip shapes were made, under here. I can never do her shaped lip, but let's just pretend. I should have hair coming down to here. Let's pretend my hair comes down to here. Pretend my hair comes down to here. Can't do her eye colour either. My ear. My ear's terrible compared to hers. Oh, she's got really nice ears. Oh, she's got a bit of a bum chin too. I love that. A bit of a bum chin. We need to get rid of our face again, don't we? Let's get rid of our face. Let's get rid of our face. Get rid of your chinny face. And I'm almost wearing the right thing, but not really. Her eyebrow needs to be like super up. That's so disappointing. I don't like this one at all. I'm gonna say this is my least favorite one because I've given myself no room to cover myself with hair and stuff like that. but maybe I can show you how I make my face more my style. Just by taking some things off and just by undoing this hair. I just undid a bracelet. Oopsie. Who else watched Whitney and her husband doing the heels and those show commentaries? That was so good. But I hate you, Whitney. You upstaged me. I think this is one of the ones where she just looks angelic, and then here's me just being like. There we go, there we go. There we go, we go. There we go. Have a good night, everyone. It's really late here. I need to severely wash my hair tomorrow. Severely. This would have been better for Kristen's one. This style hair. Oh, this would have been good. Maybe she had dirty hair. Now do I look better next to her? No, I don't look so bad. I look better like this with no makeup, but when I put her makeup on, it was not good for me. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed my story too. Bye. I've got makeup remover in my eye again.